blue skies above, a touch of chill in the air, and I would say, Paul Robinson, definitely an extra buoyancy around the place after Manchester United's win at Anfield last Sunday, wouldn't you say?
All of a sudden, a certain air of expectation around Old Trafford. Some positive news, a positive week, a positive press week for Ruben Amorim. Probably actually enjoyed doing the press conferences this week after the victory that he described as his best moment as a Manchester United manager last weekend.
So the team's getting ready for kick-off here. This is one of the no room for racism fixtures, so the players will be taking a knee before we get underway. Manchester United red shirts, white shorts, black socks. Anthony Taylor blows the whistle. That's what they do. Down onto one knee and then up again and ready for kick-off. Brighton, the blue and white striped shirts, blue shorts, blue socks. Manchester United kick-off all the way back to Lamans, the goalkeeper, his third appearance. He fires it away downfield. We're becoming familiar with that, Paul. Back to Lamans, long kick downfield.
Well, it's something that Arne Slot picked up on, whether it was sour grapes after the game or not, but he was disgruntled with Manchester United's tactics, the way that they played. But as we've seen now, set plays, throw-ins, doesn't matter how you win the game.
So Manchester United playing from left to right in this first half. It's Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko today. And here's Mbeumo in possession. Left-footed cross, headed wide from 12 yards out probably by the captain, Bruno Fernandes, making his 300th appearance for Manchester United. And that was a chance to mark it with an early goal.
Yeah, it was a good chance. It was a difficult header for Bruno Fernandes. He's a long way out. And Mbeumo does really well down this right-hand side. As expected, he cuts in on his left foot, about level with the 18-yard box. It's an in-swinging cross. Difficult for Bruno Fernandes because he's right under the ball. He tries to crane his neck round it, just can't really get any power or direction.
And this time Brighton launch along one downfield, but that is easily taken, actually taken like a back pass by Lamans on his right instep. So Manchester United back here at Old Trafford, still basking in the success of that win at Anfield, but the man who scored the match-winning goal, Harry Maguire, is out of this match, not involved, picked up a knock in training, so he's not involved, and Mason Mount is the man who's made way up front. He is only on the substitutes bench. And Brighton who have won here on their last 3 visits, so 3 in a row. No team has won against Manchester United 4 seasons running here at Old Trafford for over half a century. Fabian Hürzeler's team, seeing him down on the side of the pitch, gloves on, padded coat, no problem against Manchester United. They won home and away against United last season. Here's Dunk, the captain, long ball from him, but that will land way beyond anyone in a blue and white striped shirt and through to goalkeeper Lamans. So Manchester United, Lamans in goal, Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw are the back 3 again with no Maguire. Amad Diallo, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes and Diogo Dalot, and then that front 3 of Mbeumo, Sesko and Cunha, the expensively acquired front 3. Just the second match that they've all started together for Manchester United. The other one was the defeat against Brentford. And Brighton, who are just playing the ball back to their goalkeeper, just the one change for them, with De Kuyper coming in, with Gomez on the substitutes bench. He was a doubt for this match. So for Bruggen in goal, Vifa, Van Hecke, Dunk and Kuyper, with Baliba and Ayari, Minta, Ruta, Kadioglu and Danny Welbeck against his old club, having scored 4 goals in his last 3 appearances. Manchester United with Casemiro receiving it just inside the Brighton half, but then on the wrong wavelength with Mbeumo. The pass went one way, but it's very nearly lost by Dunk's ball out. Casemiro then, now Mbeumo just down in front of us, left-footed ball nicely into the penalty area. Cunha from the angle, but falling as he did so. He was on the dead ball line virtually. I think he was trying to centre it, but he just hit it into the outside of the side netting and slipped off the pitch and down into the advertising hoardings.
Started sharp with our Manchester United, haven't they? And Mbeumo's looked lively on this right-hand side in the early exchanges. Good interchange there. Lays the ball through to Cunha, playing slightly deeper today. Brighton losing possession in their own half. Casemiro snaps into the challenge, quickly finds Mbeumo, who in turn he just overhits a pass for Cunha, arriving from late. The third man running, if you like, from deep. Couldn't quite get the ball across the 6-yard box. So
that's the voice of Paul Robinson. Manchester United coming forward, but that ball's intercepted by Ayari on the edge of his own box. But that little pass is too far ahead of De Kuyper, out of play, throwing to Manchester United. Amad Diallo takes it, gets it quickly back and goes back to the halfway line. So it is Manchester United 0, Brighton 0. If you just got back into your car, if you've been out and about watching sporting events this afternoon, this is BBC Radio 5 Live. Listen as well on the BBC Sounds app to 5 Live, and we do have quite a choice at the moment, a choice of listening, a choice of football commentaries from Manchester, because the England-Brazil match is underway now on Sports Extra. Serena Wiegmann's European champions against Brazil on the other side of Manchester at the Manchester City Stadium, and the Rugby Union Prem match between Leicester and Sale is on Sports Extra 3, which you can only listen to on the BBC Sounds app, Sports Extra 2 and Sports Extra 3. So the ball is back with Lamans in front of the Stretford end. All of the many banners have been put away now, tucked away under seats, and so Lamans hits this away downfield, but Dunk is able to return it to goalkeeper Verbruggen. Not only have they won the last 3 times that they've been here, Brighton, it's a remarkable record, Paul. They've won 6 of their last 7 Premier League matches against Manchester United, and 6 out of the last 8 in all competitions. That is, I can understand why people call them now the bogey team.
Certainly got their measure of Manchester United, haven't they? Definitely in recent seasons anyway, and it's the way that Brighton play as well. I think the understanding that they have, the interchange that they have in midfield and the movement, Manchester United and others have struggled with it, and they're in a good run of form at the moment, Brighton.
Yes, they are. Coming into this match this morning, it was 9th against 10th. Here's Bruno Fernandes winning the ball in centre midfield. Sat down and did a big interview with all of the various media outlets, didn't he, this week? Bruno Fernandes talked about the big offer that he had to move to Saudi Arabia and why he didn't take it, as the ball is deflected out of play for a throw-in over on the far side. If you haven't seen that or heard it, it's all over your media, on your devices. Here's Yoro playing the ball forward to Diallo, who goes back into his own half. So I mentioned the England-Brazil match at the Etihad Stadium. How have things started over there with you, Katie Smith?
6 minutes played, it's goalless, John. Lively start though, reminiscent of the last time these two nations met, which was in the inaugural Finalissima back in 2023. Brazil with the best chance, Miller running through, great ball central, cutting through England's defence. Slick though taking the shot, goalless.
Also goalless here at Old Trafford, as Welbeck, De Ligt dived in, Welbeck got away from him, takes the ball on, low ball across the penalty area, and it can't get a touch in the middle. Minte was there, but actually the offside flag was up, and if it had ended up in the back of the net, Paul, it wouldn't have counted. A little careless by Minte to get ahead of, it was Mbeumo who was chasing him, wasn't it?
Mbeumo was running back. It was a really good break from Manchester United from the halfway line. The man in form, the man of the moment for Brighton. It was a long ball upfield from Van Hecke. Danny Welbeck, he just touches it round De Ligt so simply, and he's got a free run.
Sharp that, wasn't it?
He really quick, yeah, goes past Dallo, and then there's a one-on-one situation in the middle, and Mbeumo and Minter gets the wrong side of Mbeumo. I mean, he doesn't get there first. I think it's the goalkeeper who gets a touch. He would have been offside had he put it in the back of the net, but a really sharp counter-attack from Brighton. Super
play by Welbeck. As I said, De Ligt dived in, but Welbeck just got there first with a little touch that took De Ligt out of the game. De Ligt, who, with no Harry Maguire, De Ligt is back as the middleman of the 3 central defenders, so with Shaw on his left and the teenager Yoro to his right, who is now turning the ball back. Yoro to Lamans, who will clear it high into the Brighton half, where Dunk is able to take it down and play it back to Verbruggen. Lewis Dunk playing today his 495th match for Brighton and Hove Albion. What a brilliant servant he has been, the 33-year-old. So you've got the 34-year-old Welbeck, who's just playing the ball back to goalkeeper Verbruggen. You've got Dunk at 33, but other than that, as you noticed, Paul, it's a very youthful team, and Ayari is now basing forward from the midfield, one of those youngsters, and Yoro just leans into him, and Andy Taylor says that's a free kick as Ayari goes tumbling down to the ground. I'm not sure how strong the contact was on him, but down he went, and Anthony Taylor, who was in a good position, said free kick.
Yeah, that's twice now from Brighton's point of view. They played really good counter-attacking, quick transitional football, got in behind Manchester United. Danny Welbeck initially created the chance for Minter. That time it's Ayari, gets the wrong side of Yoro. He's running away from goal. It's clumsy more than anything from Yoro. Gives away a free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box on the angle.
Before Brighton take this free kick, there is a goal in the England-Brazil match. Katie Smith.
And it's not gone the way of the European champions. England 0, Brazil 1. And you got to say, the Copa America victors had been pushing for it. A ball again through the middle, spinning the defender. And it was Bia Zannaretto, who plays her football for Kansas City Current, blasting past Chiara Keating, making her debut for England in goal at the Etihad. England 0, Brazil 1.
Here's the free kick. De Kuyper plays it in. It's headed away. Shot goalwards by Karaoglu. Then it comes back out again. That was blocked. And then right-footed shot is mishit from Baliba from 22 yards out. Dragged it well wide of the goal by 5 or 6 yards.
Well, they've proved already they're not here to defend today. Brighton mentioned that brilliant record that they've got here at Old Trafford. You can see the shape that they've got, the organisation that they have, and the speed and pace on the counter-attack. That was a good delivery into the box. Well defended actually by De Ligt. Comes to the edge of the box to Baliba, who was, as we know, heavily linked with a move here to Manchester United in the summer. Drags his shot harmlessly wide.
Yeah, it was a little bit further, wasn't it? It was probably 25 yards or more that he hit that shot by. It's a tricky one, isn't it? You know, so many players have been in that position where he was strongly linked, wasn't he, with perhaps move to Manchester United this summer, but a fee of somewhere in the region, probably more than £100 million was mentioned. So he knows that, everyone else knows it, and here he is now playing at Old Trafford against them.
I don't think that will affect him in any way, though, because he knows he's at a club at Brighton that are used to selling players, and he knows that eventually he will get a move, whether it's to Manchester United or another European superpower. He's 21 years old, he's 22 in January. That move will eventually come for him.
Here's De Kuyper, this is nice from Brighton. Then the ball's played to Minte, left side of the box. Oh, he miskicked it, and actually only moved it about 3 yards. And Manchester United eventually able to take it away up to Mbeumo, and Mbeumo goes down. Anthony Taylor wags a finger at him.
Strange gesturing from the referee, that wasn't it? I don't think anybody inside Old Trafford knew what he was doing.
I mean, he was very close proximity, and Mbeumo went down. Ball's curled forward for Brighton. Minter's after this, but Lamens is out quickly, right side of his penalty area to claim the ball. Yeah, and Mbeumo went down. And Anthony Taylor basically stood over the top of him, wagging his finger.
It was certainly a strange gesture from the referee. I don't think anybody, ourselves included, actually know whether he'd blown the whistle, given a free kick. The players on the pitch even stopped. You know, he was saying that there was no foul, nothing to see here. Play was to continue.
Well, I don't know about you, Paul. I very much took it from the gesture that he wasn't giving a free kick for that. Manchester United 0, Brighton 0, as we've heard. Brazil winning 1-0 against England at the Etihad Stadium, and it is Leicester 5, Sale 0 in the 5:30 kickoff in the Prem, in the Rugby Union. So 0-0, but Brighton have found a bit of the usual Old Trafford confidence that they come here with, and the ball deflected out of play for a throw into United near the halfway line. What have you spotted?
The two managers, they're just as entertaining as watching the game at the moment. Herzler and Amorim, there's absolutely 0 point having those technical areas. Both of them, they've covered so much ground already. Herzler backwards and forwards to his bench, back out to the technical area. They're living every single minute.
Still only 32 years old, Fabian Herzler. One of the youngest managers there's ever been in the top flight of English football, and Ruben Amorim himself still just 40 years old, to the younger. Well, and in fact, you're absolutely right, Paul. Ruben Amorim actually just walked right across the front of Herzler's coaching area there, and indeed, once again, doesn't stop when he gets to the edge of it. Ruben Amorim going for 3 wins in a row. That would equal his best run. So as we know, it's the first time that Manchester United under his management, and it's almost a year now. In fact, it's a year next week that Erik ten Hag was sacked. Manchester United 0, Brighton 0, and the ball is played out to De Kuyper, and now at the back with Dunk, who plays the ball across the edge of his own penalty area, and Van Hecke knocks it infield to Ayari, who will just carry the ball forward and actually gives it back to the fair-haired Van Hecke. Van Hecke now allows the ball to roll over the halfway line, and then goes for a long crossfield pass here to De Kuyper. So De Kuyper coming in for Gomez and playing at left back, and Brighton with the ball inside their own half. Dunk again. Manchester United just for the time being dropping off, and Brighton enjoying a period of possession. In fact, it's good possession this, isn't it?
Yeah, Manchester United are quite happy though. They're in a defensive shape, which obviously they work on quite a lot with Ruben Amorim, with this formation that's so widely documented and talked about. Without the ball, they'll drop into it very quickly.
Here's Rutter for Brighton now into the full-back position. Goes away from Casemiro, pulls it across, then the left foot shot, which is well saved by Lamens, falling to his right. Welbeck was being challenged there as he hit the shot, and I think he might have just caught I think it was Bruno Fernandes who was putting the challenge in on Welbeck, who managed to make an attempt on goal, but it didn't have the purchase that he would have liked.
There's Jorginho Rutter down the left-hand side for Brighton. You can hear the Brighton fans singing his name. He's got the beat on a Casemiro. He just cruises into the Manchester United box. He's got time and he's got space. He looks out and he picks Welbeck up with decent strike. Comfortable save.
Manchester United sweep forward now down the other end. Still 0-0. And Bournemouth, Amadello challenged by Dykaipa. Amadello goes down, but referee Taylor is not interested. Well, it remains to be seen whether VAR will have anything to say about that. Dykaipa dived in on him, Paul.
Looked a pen. It looked a clear pen to me initially.
With the naked eye, it did.
Yeah, he's still down. Is Ahmad? We've not had a chance of a replay yet, but he goes over Dykaipa's leg in the penalty box.
It looked mistimed, didn't it, by Dykaipa?
Looked mistimed, and it also looked like Ahmad was waiting for it, but the leg was there to go over. Initially, still not seen a replay, but first glance, when the ball does go out of play, the referee might be asked to look at this.
Still Manchester United in possession, ball still in play. Amadello has now got to his feet and he's flexing his right leg as he walks back into an onside position. Still, the ball's not gone out of play. Casemiro plays it forward. Oh, excellent from Cunha, shoots, and it's saved by Verbruggen. Still inside the penalty area. Amadello's onto this. Excellent play by Cunha. Still looking for his first goal for Manchester United, and was close there to it. And Burmo now inside the box, and Burmo is forced back out of the penalty area. Burmo's got Yoro behind him. Yoro low in, little flick by Cunha, then comes to Bruno Fernandes. Now back to Amadello again. Left-footed curling ball in, which is headed away to comparative safety by Vifa. Still Manchester United though. It comes back out to the right-hand side. Brighton really being tested here. Still 0-0. Yoro actually goes back closer to the centre circle. Still the ball hasn't gone out of play since that challenge on Amadello, and the decision is no penalty. We've seen on our screen here, VAR have had a look and have decided it will not be a penalty. Play stops now, so Manchester United supporters are wondering whether a penalty will be given, and actually De Ligt is asking the question. Bruno Fernandes is scratching his head and is speaking to the referee, and Anthony Taylor sends him away.
First time we get to look at it now. The replays are coming onto our screens, and how that's not been given, I do not know. That to me looks like a clear penalty. Ahmad's gone past Dykaipa, he's hung a leg out, he's tripped him up. That is a mistake from the referee and the VAR. How they've missed that, I don't know. So that should be a penalty to Manchester United.
I'm trying to think why they've not given that. Why is...
No idea, John. That looked like as clear a penalty as you'd get. And a referee of Anthony Taylor's quality, you would think he would be able to give that on the pitch.
Touch of the ball off Dykaipa's heel?
Not having that at all. That was a clear penalty.
Manchester United 0, Brighton 0. Big talking point. It's played in all the way across the... over everyone who is inside the penalty area, but beyond the far post as well by Cunha. Back to England, Brazil, Katie Smith.
It's gone from bad to worse for the European champions. It is now England 0, Brazil 2. England dispossessed in the middle of the park. It was another ball through the centre, moved out to the left-hand side for Dudinha, who hit the left-hand post and passed Chiara Keating once again. England 0, Brazil 2.
So 2-0 to Brazil. You can hear that right now on Sports Extra. Vicky Sparks commentating alongside Lindsay Johnson. Earlier, Wales 1, Australia 2 was the score in the other friendly involving the home nations. Here's Casemiro. So a very strong chance, an appeal for a penalty from Manchester United, not given. Here they come again. Ball played into the area from the left-hand side, but Verbruggen is able to move across his 6-yard box. It's well beyond Sesko, and Verbruggen is able to clutch the bouncing ball. Manchester United 0, Brighton 0. Suggestion being that maybe just that touch of the ball from the heel of Dykaipa saved him and Brighton from conceding the penalty.
Must have been the very faintest of touches. I mean, even on the replays it wasn't overly clear. VAR have clearly analysed it, but for me, even if there was a very, very slight touch, the tackle was cumbersome enough that Manchester United should have got a penalty. I think they've done well in the final third, Manchester United. Attacking wise, in recent weeks they've certainly looked better. Defensively at times they've looked susceptible, with Brighton on the break and the long ball over the top on the counter-attack, but I think in the final third there's promising signs for Manchester United. As you say, Sesko, Cunha and Mbeumo all on the pitch at the same time, just starting to maybe get that understanding.
Yeah, they are looking for it. The almost £200 million starting lineup as Brighton taken into the penalty area with Ruta, who Ruta went route one there, didn't he? Strong, held off the challengers into the penalty area and wins a corner for Brighton off De Ligt.
Plays well in that number 10 role, Ruta. I think he's an excellent player, really good signing. Got him from Leeds United, who in turn got him from Hoffenheim. Still only 23, Jorginho Ruta. And I think in behind the main strike he finds those pockets of space in between the defensive line and the midfield line, and he can create problems, and he's no stranger to a goal either.
No, 8 goals last season, which was his joint career best, Jorginho Ruta. So Manchester United 0, Brighton 0, 5 Live from the BBC. De Kuyper to take this corner, first of the match, into the 6-yard box, and a catch high, full stretch by Senna Lamens, and held it securely. And again, another ovation from the Manchester United supporters, as was the case, wasn't it, Paul, on his debut here against Sunderland?
Well, they've been starved of it for so long, the Manchester United supporters. A goalkeeper that breeds confidence not only in the team but in the stadium.
I know you were saying on 5 Live Sport earlier, this is your first chance to see him live, as Cunha is able to thread the ball into the penalty area for Casemiro's run. Casemiro takes it to the dead ball line. He was actually followed there all the way by Danny Welbeck, and then Cunha in again, but that's blocked. Dallo is onto this, back out to Cunha. Casemiro points where he wants it. Casemiro on the stretch. Van Hecke was moving into position, but straight behind from Casemiro, so it is a goal kick. Manchester United 0, Brighton 0 here at Old Trafford. Back to Manchester City, Katie Smith.
Well, this could get quite interesting. It's England 0, Brazil 2, but Brazil are down to 10. Their captain, Angelina, shown a straight red. Ella 2 running through on goal, and she was tugged down by the skipper of the Brazilian side. England now with a free kick in a very dangerous spot, right on the edge of the D. England 0, 10-player Brazil 2.
So that makes it different, as the ball is played out by Ayari, and Mbeumo challenged by Dunk, and Mbeumo goes down. It was just outside the penalty area. He fell into the box, the Manchester United man, and again howls for, well, at the very least a free kick. Anthony Taylor waved it away.
You can maybe tell by the reaction of Mbeumo, he wasn't overly disappointed he didn't get a free kick. The protest was very short-lived from Mbeumo. As we know, VAR will look really poor from Brighton, giving away possession in their own 18-yard box. Could have caused themselves a lot of problems.
Still 0-0. Here's Mbeumo, and Mbeumo, and now a challenge on him from Ayari. Went down, no free kick. I have to say, I thought that was fair enough. Yeah,
fair enough, but I think they can see by the unrest and the noise from the Manchester United fans, the referee's going to have to get hold of this, because it's not going to be long before somebody gets lumped up in the air, I don't think.
I think you're right. However, it means we do have a good noise inside Old Trafford. Sesko now plays it past Van Hecke, and that's not a free kick either.
Has he forgotten his whistle?
Do you know, I think Sesko did throw himself down there. Van Hecke did dive in on the challenge, but Sesko did go down quite theatrically. However, 70,000 people or thereabouts don't agree with that. Sesko now chipping it into the box. First time touch from Bruno Fernandes. Oh, lovely play from Casemiro. Cunha scores! 1-0 Manchester United! And Matheus Cunha from the edge of the box with his right foot, pinpoint into the bottom corner, scores for Manchester United for the first time and makes it United 1, Brighton 0.
Oh, it's a wonderful finish from Matheus Cunha, and that goal's been coming from Manchester United. Casemiro it is, he lays it into the path of Cunha. 18 yards from goal, his first touch is brilliant, he opens his body up and he just caresses it into the bottom left-hand corner. It's good play from United on the edge of the Brighton penalty area. Sesko worms his way free, chips the ball into Bruno Fernandes. It takes Casemiro. He's the one who takes control of the situation, gets the ball on the floor, calmly plays it to Matheus Cunha. First touch with his left foot. Van Hecke dives in to try and make a block. He curls it around Van Hecke, curves it around the dive in Verbruggen, and gets his first Manchester United goal.
This 26-year-old Brazilian international, he's had to wait a little while. This is his 9th appearance for Manchester United, but I think he and they, the Manchester United fans inside Old Trafford, will feel it was worth the wait. Surrounded by his teammates, the celebration, they will all know that that's the moment he's been waiting for. When you are as expensively acquired as he was, £62.5 million or thereabouts, you're expected to deliver for Manchester United, and with that he has. Manchester United 1, Brighton 0, after the 2 league wins in a row. Now they're leading here against Brighton, and Minte and Ahmed Diallo tangled together, and Anthony Taylor says it's a free kick for Manchester United.
Nearly as big a cheer as the goal for the free kick. I think that the goal, going back to Matheus Cunha's finish, it certainly wasn't the finish of a player who hadn't scored for his new club. He took his time, he picked his spot, and it was a beautiful finish with the inside of his right foot. Really good play again from Manchester United. It was Casemiro who had the calmest head of everybody. Good interchange on the edge of the box, he lays it into Cunha, and it's a brilliant, brilliant finish. It really is from the Brazilian, and the atmosphere inside Old Trafford, once again, it's changed again.
It's actually a really good goal, a really well-worked goal. And the little piece of play from Casemiro was superb.
It was a little bit of pinball, wasn't it? It was in the air, a good number of 1-2s, but it was actually Casemiro who put his foot on the ball, and it's seemingly what we always say about good players, they make time, they seem to have a lot more time. It was in a crowded edge of the penalty area situation, and he just slotted the ball through to Cunha, and his first touch is what made it Matheus Cunha, got it out of his feet, and it was a great finish.
So Casemiro will get the assist for that, but really Bruno Fernandes played a really important part in that as well. With his first time cushioned volley square, what was it, a 5-yard pass or something like that?
And it was tight, wasn't it? It was a tight area on the edge of the box, yeah. Good play from Manchester. Like we say, what's been happening well for them has been in the final third, and you can see those interchanges of play and the understanding maybe.
See, something like that, isn't it, that kind of goes unsaid in the mountain of statistics. You know, the assists for this and assists for that. That was an instrumental piece of play in that goal from Bruno Fernandes. And what does he get for it?
You asked Statman Dave. There's an assist for the assist these days. There you go.
Of course there is. As Brighton come forward, and goal scorer Cunha is back there in his left back position to put the challenge in on Vifa, and deflected behind for what is a Brighton corner, Paul.
Noticeably working hard at Manchester United. I know they've got a lift from the goal, and the atmosphere inside the stadium will obviously lift them, but we just saw there Ahmad win a free kick in his own defensive third. Goal scorer Cunha there making a tackle in the 18-yard box. The work ethic seems to be different.
So who played the ball to Fernandes?
You got that far back?
Well, Sesko actually played a good ball over the top, didn't he? 1-0 Manchester United. Here's the Brighton corner, which is headed away by Casemiro. That was just over the top of Rutter, I think, who was jumping for it, but Casemiro was in the right place to head it away. Yes, who provided the assist to the assist to the assist?
Forever revolutionising the game, John.
Manchester United 1, Brighton 0. That's Paul Robinson, 41 caps for England. I mentioned Lamans, Paul. I know that you're keen. You know, you've had an eye on him now for nearly half an hour.
It's just having a look at his positional sense. It's all well and good watching from afar on the television, but actually when you're inside the stadium you can see the lines of communication that he has, the depth perception in relation to his back four, what positions he takes up on the pitch. Its early signs have been promising in these first 2 games, and he certainly hasn't shown me anything today that would suggest otherwise.
By the way, VAR did have a look at the dunk challenge on Burmo, and that's an overhead pass from centre field that from Baliba that goes flying away through for a goal kick, and he just pulls on the bottom of his shirt in frustration. VAR had a look at the challenge from from Duncan on Burmo. That was outside the box. But also, it has been confirmed that De Kuyper did get a touch on the ball. That's the decision, and that's why the penalty was not given for De Kuyper's challenge on Amad Diallo. However, since all of that, the goal has been scored by Mateus Cunha, and Manchester United lead by 1-0.
I think he operates better in that deeper position. With Sesko playing today, there was a lot of speculation on the team selection because they did so well last week. Would it be the same? Mateus Cunha dropping in behind Sesko with Mbeumo. He's looked good running from that deeper position today.
Oh, excellent play from De Ligt, strong, and I thought he was caught by an arm. But players allowed to continue. Ruta plays it forward. Minte into the box. What a run this is! Minte's still going, and then it runs away from him. With Manchester United players diving in from all directions. Brilliant footwork from Minte, but in the end, it just ran away from him through Luke Shaw, and Lamens was able to pick up.
Looked like he was going to go all the way there, Minte, didn't it? Every time he moved forward, it just kept opening up in front of him. Once he got the wrong side of Yoro, he knew that the Manchester United defenders couldn't touch him in the penalty box. Shaw ended up standing his ground, defended well.
There is now a foul on Sesko, 10 yards inside the Brighton half, and a free kick to Manchester United. But the weaving run by Minte there was something special, wasn't it? He was bobbing and weaving like Alan Minter. Never mind Yankuba Minte.
It just shows that the vulnerability that Manchester United do still have in those areas. You know, we've waxed lyrical for 30 minutes about the quality of the forward play, but actually at times they are very susceptible at the back. And in players like Minte and Ruta, Brighton have got players with pace that can play and hurt you on the counter-attack.
There's a boxing reference there for the likes of Steve Bunce. If Steve's listening in from the O2, we'll have coverage of all of the boxing tonight, by the way. Starts on Sports Extra, then on 5 Live later. Parker against Wardley, the big fight. As Manchester United get this all wrong, as Bruno Fernandes plays a free kick to Cunha behind him, and it hit him, he fell over, and it was out of play for a throw into Brighton.
Can't believe I've just seen that on a Premier League pitch, never mind a professional football pitch. He just tried to play a pass, 10 yards, 15 yards into Cunha, and he played it outside him and it slid and it went out of play. That's a really poor error from Manchester United in a decent area where the box was loaded full of players waiting for a delivery.
Who played it across to him? Was it
Mbeumo?
Mbeumo, yeah.
Mbeumo to Cunha.
Bruno Fernandes played it to Mbeumo, who then passed it behind Cunha. And within a few moments, that is very much going from hero to zero, isn't it, Cunha? 1 minute you score a brilliant goal from the edge of the penalty area, then the next something like that happens. Too good, too bad. Manchester United 1, Brighton 0. 5 Live, which you can also listen to if you're on the move via the BBC Sounds app. Search Football Daily on there as well. You'll find Wayne Rooney's 40th birthday edition of the new Wayne Rooney show as Casemiro. Then a flick from Amad Diallo and Burmo. This is all on the right wing for Manchester United, just down in front of us. The floodlights beginning to take effect. Clocks go back tonight, by the way, for those who might have let that slip their mind. An extra hour in bed. De Ligt with a long pass forward as Amad Diallo takes it down. He's away from De Kuyper, pulls it back to Mbeumo on the edge of the area, but Baliba was able to come across. Oh, and he's given it away, Baliba, to Yoro. And Yoro now, and Burmo, left-footed ball across the box, and that's a deft touch off the chest of Dunk, back to goalkeeper for Bruggen from 7 or 8 yards away from him.
I think he makes the wrong decision there, Amad. He does brilliantly well. He skips past the fullback, gets into the 18-yard box on the angle right in front of him. You can see the white to the post. You can see the goalkeeper. He makes the wrong decision to pull it back. I think he just pulls the trigger with his left foot, causes the goalkeeper all kinds of problems from that angle.
Manchester United with Casemiro. Casemiro has a goal from It's deflected in! It's 2-0! Well, there was nothing that Verbruggen could do about that. I think it was on target from Casemiro, but it took a wicked deflection of, I think, Ayari, totally wrong-footing the Brighton goalkeeper, and it's Manchester United 2, Brighton 0 now. And after the victory at Anfield last Sunday, Manchester United are now in charge here against Brighton the following Saturday.
It's the high press again from Manchester United, pressing in the right areas. Brighton giving away possession. It's Luke Shaw who nicks the ball back. Casemiro 25 yards from goal. He looks to hit it hard and with power and curl around the goalkeeper. Hits Ayari. The goalkeeper's already committed to dive into his bottom left-hand corner. Hits Ayari, diverts it into the bottom right-hand corner. Absolutely nothing the goalkeeper can do. Casemiro doesn't care. He wheels away to the far side to celebrate in front of those joyous Manchester United fans and manager now beneath us on the touchline.
I think own goal, don't you? I think the shot, as you said, he was looking to bend it, and I think the initial shot was off target. We've seen one replay here from behind the line of the shot, and I think that will go down as a Yassine Ayari own goal, don't you?
It was a massive deflection. Whether the shot was on target or not, the goalkeeper potentially would have dealt with it if it was, but it diverted the course of the ball completely to the other corner.
Offside flag goes up against Kadioglu.
He doesn't think so.
Manchester United are giving it to Casemiro, but I suspect on our clever Premier League app, I have a feeling that might go down, indeed it has, as an own goal.
I'm just looking at it again now, seeing the replay. It's such a good interception by Luke Shaw, and that just shows that Manchester United are pressing higher, because it was Luke Shaw almost in the final third who nipped in front of Ruta, got possession back for Manchester United, and he's the one who gave it to Casemiro to have the strike.
So 2-0 to Manchester United. Could easily have had a penalty as well. That was quite a big decision, but I think in the grand scheme of things now, that is less important. Oh, and that's very nearly given away by De Kuyper, and it's launched by Dunk. And Burma was very nearly onto that, and it's been launched by Dunk into the stand about 30 yards down in front of us.
Uncharacteristic this from Brighton,
yeah.
And the way that they're playing. But they are rattled, they're unsettled. You've got to give Manchester United a lot of credit. Manager Fabian Herzl is back on the bench. They are used to conceding goals. I mean, one clean sheet in the last 20 Premier League games for Brighton. They do concede. They are porous at times, but actually the way they're giving away possession is very unlike them.
Yeah, not kept a clean sheet in the Premier League this season. The last one was against Wolves in May at the back end of last season. And lots of little errors, passes just a little short, giving the opposition encouragement. And Manchester United, in this mood, have needed no encouragement. Manchester United, who've won 3 out of 4 here at Old Trafford this season in the Premier League, although here's a chance for Ayari just outside the D. Hit the shot, but it was closed down quickly, and the deflection took it away wide of the goal and behind for another Brighton corner. But Bruno Fernandes, I think it was, sliding in front of the line of the ball, but that is typical of the way Manchester United are now, and it was all low fives, and congratulations for the way that they snuffed out the shot.
Yeah, there's a lovely ball from De Kuyper, left winger into Ayari. It's very crowded edge of Manchester United penalty area, almost a reverse pull back to Ayari.
So De Kuyper to take the corner, which is into the 6-yard box. Lamons comes for it, but it comes off a Brighton head, probably Dunk. He's the man who ended up on the ground, and it's wide of the goal and behind for a goal kick. Yes, it was Dunk stretching, but De Ligt there were 2 Manchester United players there, De Ligt and another, and they did enough to put him off. And it is a goal kick to Manchester United, who lead Brighton by 2-0 on 5 Live from the BBC with half-time approaching. So 2-0 to Manchester United here. What about England-Brazil? Katie Smith.
It's England 0, Brazil 2. Brazil 2, but down to 10. Their captain Angelina's sent off after 20 minutes, and they've dug deep. England have had a couple of decent chances. Greenwood striking the crossbar from a free kick. Toon just wide of the far post as well, but they cannot find a way through at the moment. England 0, Brazil 2.
With Diogo Dalot having a go at goal. Paul Robinson from 25 yards, but it flies away over the top corner.
Another long ball from the goalkeeper this time. It's Sesko goes up for the ball to try and win it. It's Cunha. He tries to take it down on the edge of his toe, but he doesn't. He gets the touch wrong. He inadvertently falls into the path of the on-running Dalot. Gets a strike at goal, harmlessly over the crossbar. But again, decent forward-thinking play from Manchester United. They've had a confident performance.
2-0 Manchester United. This is our 3rd Premier League commentary of the day that we've brought to you, either here on 5 Live or on Sports Extra. Luke Shaw defending, trying to win the goal kick, which he does, off Kadioglu, so a goal kick to Manchester United. Yes, earlier you might have been listening to Alistair Bruce Ball and Steve Sidwell commentating on Sunderland's win at Stamford Bridge. So if you look at the league table now, Sunderland are second in the table. Still, we can still call them newly promoted Sunderland, can't we? And we're going to hear from Wilson Isidore at half-time. So Sunderland winning at Chelsea, Newcastle also winning with a late goal, so wins earlier in the Premier League for Sunderland and Newcastle. Bruno Guimaraes with a late goal against Fulham, so 2-1 there. Coventry are 3 points clear at the top of the Championship after their 3-1 win against Watford. Middlesbrough and Wrexham drew 1-1. And Dundee United are third in the Premiership after their 3-1 win against St Mirren. Just to mark your card, the big match at lunchtime tomorrow, Hearts Celtic. You can hear that on Sports Extra 3. 12 o'clock kickoff, Sports Extra 3. Hearts against Celtic, first against second. On your BBC Sounds app, as a heavy touch from Cunha means that Kadioglu, who's playing on the right-hand side, Kadioglu can wriggle away with it, but Brighton have to come back into their own half. And here is Baliba now, who turns. The Brighton number 17, the Cameroon international teammate of Brian Mbeumo, who's just a few yards away from him. Ball from De Kuyper, that's good, out to the right-hand side, but Vifa took his eye off it. He's just able to keep it in play after a poor first touch. Ayari, the Swedish international. Then back to Van Hecke, one of the Brighton Dutchmen. Tall and blonde, Van Hecke hits a ball that is intercepted by Yoro, comes back to Baliba, first time touch from him, but Amad Diallo in his own penalty area is able to pull that down with the tip of his boot, and up it goes to Mbeumo. Mbeumo beats Dunk, and then as Baliba runs across him, down goes Mbeumo. It's a free kick to Manchester United and a yellow card for Carlos Baliba here at Old Trafford.
He's looked lively, Mbeumo. And the noticeable thing from Manchester United, we spoke before, kind of tongue-in-cheek, about what Arne Slot said about them going longer and more direct. They're noticeably taking less chances. They're not asking the goalkeeper to play from the back as much. Ahmad, that time it was, had a really good touch in his own penalty box, didn't play it back to his goalkeeper, didn't lay it across the 18-yard box. His immediate thought was look forward, no matter how long it is, and he played the ball forward, and Mbeumo caused the problem.
So for those who have said that Ruben Amorim can't adapt, as Dunk plays it forward, it hits Ruter and bounces from Mbeumo, but Mbeumo's pass actually hits Ayari, and in the end De Ligt has to play it back to Lammens. So he might have stuck with the same system, but he has adapted the style, and it is effective.
Well, I think it's a clear tactic. Keep it away from our goal, get it as far away as you can. And I mean, it's certainly worked for them, and it's better on the eye as well. They've got players that suit playing that way, and I think the less risks that they take, without stating the obvious, the less they're going to put the ball at risk and concede goals from their own downfall.
Brighton back in possession, but Manchester United leading by 2-0. Cunha's first Manchester United goal, the former Wolves man, after his 17 goals for Wolverhampton Wanderers last season, and then the second goal, the Premier League giving it as a Yassine Ayari own goal, the shot hit by Casemiro. So Casemiro set up the first, and his shot led to the second, having one of his good days, the 33-year-old Casemiro. Dunk, long pass downfield, that comes off Dallo, then is played forward, but Kadioglu won't reach that, and it bounces away. The attempted pass forward by Vifa overhit and through for a goal kick to Manchester United.
He gets lucky there, Dallo, again. It's a nothing ball really for Brighton. It's a hopeful ball forward. He should be in comfortable control of that situation, but he miscues his clearance, and it gives Brighton the opportunity to put the pass in behind him. Thankfully for him and Manchester United, it came to nothing, but those are the mistakes, the individual mistakes, that have been costing Manchester United in weeks gone by.
So here on 5 Live, Manchester United winning 2-0 against Brighton. On Sports Extra, it's England 0, Brazil 2. On Sports Extra 3, Leicester are winning against Sale. And a little later on Sports Extra 2, it'll be third practice from the Mexican Grand Prix for you to listen to. And with after the results earlier, if Manchester United go on and win this, they'll be up to 4th place in the Premier League, Paul. Manchester United. What's going on?
They were described by some Liverpool supporters last week as getting beaten by a mid-table Premier League club. I mean, fourth. It's very, very early on, isn't it? What is it? 8 games into a 38
clocks haven't gone back
season.
yet, Paul. I'm surprised at you looking at the league table before the clocks go back.
Clocks go back, that's it. Tonight we can look tomorrow.
You pointed out that table to me.
Yeah.
You've broken your own rules.
Well, it did flash up on the screen in front of me. But no, I think you get a true reflection generally. Look at the league table when the clocks go back.
Don't start backpedaling now. Your damage has been done. Here's Cunha. Cunha up to Mbeumo. Nice touch. Sesko shoots wide left foot. From the angle. Caught it well, but off target and wide.
Brilliant from Bruno Fernandes. Superb play, midfield play. Link in defence and turn into attack very, very quickly into Mbeumo, who in turn finds Sesko in a really good position. Really good positive signs for Manchester United. One touch football from Mbeumo into Sesko on his left foot. Yes, the defender's sliding across him. You've got to expect him to at least hit the target there. In fact, you expect him to score, in all honesty. But actually where he is, he's got to hit the target. He's got to test Verbruggen. That was a really good opportunity for Sesko and Manchester United to put this to bed before half-time.
A change of opinion. Premier League now saying it's Casemiro's goal.
Is it you backtracking now, is it?
No, it's a change of mind from the Premier League. I'm just reporting it.
Merely the messenger.
I'm purely and merely the messenger. Manchester United 2, Brighton 0. So if that is the case, that's a second goal of the season for Casemiro. Also scored in the win here against Chelsea. 1 minute of added time. So it would be 4 home wins in a row for Manchester United. But I think almost as important as that, Paul, it is the style that Manchester United are now playing in. They've played some good stuff here. But here's Welbeck as Brighton attack. Kadioglu now back to Vifa joining in the attack. Kadioglu again, the little Turkish international. Left-footed cross from him to the far side of the penalty area, which is headed across and then headed away. And then Ruta, corner of the 6-yard box, might have been offside. Swung a leg at it, missed it, and it's through for a goal kick.
I think he potentially would have been offside. It would have been checked. It was a great chance for Ruta. He was in all kinds of space in the back right-hand corner of the 6-yard box. That's what Manchester United have got to be careful of now. Concentration, get to half-time, keep the clean sheet intact. Brighton, we know they're not out of this game by a long way. 2-0's always a dangerous scoreline. Actually, looking at the replay there, the ball was hit from De Kuyper. It was a poor strike from the left-hand sided player with his left foot, bounces awkwardly across the box. Ruta makes a mess. He would have been onside.
There's the half-time whistle. Manchester United 2, Brighton 0. Brighton, Manchester United's bogey team in recent seasons, certainly here at Old Trafford, but United and Ruben Amorim, as he walks away along the touchline in his grey bomber jacket staring at the ground, he's getting exactly what he wanted. They've carried on from where they left off after the confidence-building win at Anfield last weekend.
I think he'll be delighted going into that dressing room at half-time. It'll be a team talk that he's going to want to have had to give. I think you can see the performance they had last week, and they've carried that on. It's been a positive performance, pressed high. They've impressed in the final third. Sesko and Mbeumo, Cunha, Bruno Fernandes has been brilliant. I think the thing that's impressed me has been the high press. But 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. And when you're a team that are not necessarily full of confidence, your confidence may be slightly fragile, an early goal in the second half for Brighton puts a very different perspective on this game.
However, Cunha with his first goal for Manchester United, and then not an Ayari own goal, a Casemiro goal, means at half-time here at Old Trafford, Manchester United 2, Brighton 0 is the score.
Yeah, but that's never been Casemiro's goal, Paul, has it?
Well, I think it keeps going backwards and forwards, a different of opinion in the Premier League. His initial strike looked to be going wide. The goalkeeper was going after it, the goalkeeper, so he thought it was maybe causing him a problem. I mean, you can picture it, can't you? The goalkeeper's flying right to his bottom left-hand corner. The ball's going that way. He was in full control of the situation, and it's taken a deflection and put it in the other corner. So, no, you would argue that, one, the goalkeeper, if it was on target, he would have picked it up quite comfortably, and two, was it even on target?
No, Paul, John, thank you very much for the time being. So Manchester United, impressive, 2-0 up on Brighton. We'll bring you second half commentary. Back to the Etihad, England, Brazil in that women's international. Katie Smith.
Yeah, we're into 5 added minutes in this first half. England 0, Brazil 2. England generating more and more set pieces now as the second half goes on. They've got the player advantage after Angelina was shown a red card 20 minutes in, but Brazil have been marking doggedly. The Lioness is just looking a bit indecisive. They don't quite know what to do with the ball. It's not been a great watch. It's England 0, Brazil 2.
Final practice for the Mexican Grand Prix getting underway shortly. You'll be able to listen to it on Sports Extra 2 from 6:30. Commentator Harry Benjamin will be watching.
The sunshine is out and the tacos are at the ready ahead of a crucial last practice. That's ahead of qualifying after a really intriguing day yesterday where McLaren looked like they actually have time to find. Verstappen is threatening, having topped second practice, and even Ferrari with Charles Leclerc and Mercedes with George Russell and Kimi Antonelli in the mix. Championship leader Piastri has a 14-point advantage over his teammate, but looked like the weakest of the title contenders. So this final practice is going to be a really interesting one before quali.
Thank you very much, Harry. So, headlines so far today. Sunderland scored a late winner to beat Chelsea 2-1 at Stamford Bridge and move up to second in the Premier League table. We'll hear from Wilson Isidore shortly and Enzo Maresca. Bruno Guimaraes scored an injury time winner for Newcastle as they beat Fulham. The final Premier League game today, remember, is Brentford against Liverpool at 8 o'clock. Highlights on Match of the Day with Gabby Logan, Michael Carrick and Ashley Williams. Coventry City win a club record 6th straight league game to stay top of the Championship as they beat Watford. Second place Middlesbrough could only draw at home to Wrexham. Sheffield Wednesday lost at home to Oxford United following their placing in administration yesterday. League One leaders Cardiff lose at Bolton, but they stay top. League Two leaders were also beaten, but they stay top on goal difference from Swindon. 08085 909 693. You can get your calls in right now for 606, which follows second half commentary from Old Trafford. Australia won the first match of Rugby League's Ashes 26-6 over England in Rugby Union's Prem. Leicester lead Sale 15-5 approaching half time. That's on Sports Extra 3 right now. Bath have moved second in the table after beating Bristol 40-15, and it's half-time at the Etihad, Katie.
Yeah, England 0, Brazil 2 for a friendly Steve. It's been anything but. Brazil deservedly racing into a 2-goal lead within 18 minutes. They've just been slicing through England's defence far too easily, which is where Wiegman's done some tinkering today. Letitia playing at right back, which is only going to reignite that debate over why Wiegman won't consider her as a centre-back. 20 minutes in, though, Brazil's captain Angelina showed red for a stupid decision, hauling Toon down when she was through on goal. So England have the player advantage. They haven't been able to capitalise, though. Greenwood pinging one off the crossbar from a free kick. Walsh with the last kick of the half, just skimming one over the crossbar as well. So far, not the homecoming the fans here were hoping for. England 0, Brazil 2.
Thank you, Katie. You'll get second half commentary on 5 Sports Extra. Premier League reaction on the way after the news with Nick Hatfield.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Metropolitan Police has urged an asylum seeker who was wrongly released from prison to hand himself in. Hadish Kibatu was sentenced last month for sex offences. Commander James Conway says he boarded a train in Chelmsford yesterday lunchtime.
He has since made a number of train journeys across the London area. We believe he has access to funds, and critically, in both Chelmsford and London, we believe he has sought assistance from members of the public and has spoken to station staff.
Well, our reporter Alison Earle says Kibatu seemed unsure about what to do when he was released.
He spoke to a delivery driver and some other people and asked for help, was very confused about his next steps, but it was, in fact, prison staff that led him out of the prison and towards the train station, where he then boarded that train that was bound for London.
In other news, the MP for Manchester Central, Lucy Powell, has been elected as Labour's new deputy leader after beating the Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson. Ireland's new president is due to be the left-wing independent, Catherine Connolly, after her only rival conceded. And parents have been urged to get their children vaccinated against flu over half-term, as the NHS warns of rising cases.
It's about to get a whole lot scarier. I'm Danny Robbins, and every day this month I will be sharing Uncanny Listeners, real-life ghost stories as we count down to the spookiest time of the year. An eerie starter of paranormal terror before the main course of a brand new season of Uncanny launching on Halloween itself. The uncanny Halloween countdown every day on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
So it's Manchester United 2, Brighton 0, half-time at Old Trafford. Second half commentary on the way. Second half commentary of England 0, Brazil 2 in the Women's International Friendly at the Etihad will be on 5 Sports Extra. Former England defender Lindsay Johnson is part of the commentary team. So Lindsay, England 2-0 down, Brazil down to 10. But England haven't really, beyond an Alex Greenwood free kick, managed to find a way back.
No, it's a bit disappointing, particularly this homecoming, but Brazil have been absolutely fantastic from the whistle. They've just had a high press. They've looked really dangerous in attack, particularly Didina on this left-hand side. Brazil, she got the second goal. And England just look a little bit disjointed. Things aren't fluid for them, but all credit to Brazil. They're very worth their 2-goal lead.
What about Chiara Keating on debut?
Yeah, unfortunately, mixed reviews for her. She's made her first touch, she come and gathered the ball really cleanly, commanding. I think her distribution has been good out from the back, but there's been some decision-making errors, in my opinion. And she's 21. She's playing in this massive game against Brazil, so you've got to give her a little bit of I suppose, thought there. But yeah, it's been a bit mixed from her, but all over the pitch. I don't think these England players are playing to their potential, and they really need to change something at half-time to get something out of this game.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. As I say, second half commentary on 5 Sports Extra. Sunderland are second in the Premier League. Shamsdini Talbi scored a 94th minute winner. They came from behind to beat Chelsea 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. This is the best start for a newly promoted side in 17 years. Wilson Isidore scored Sunderland's first.
Really happy about the win of today. We showed a lot of character and a lot of believeness. I don't know if you can say that, but we showed that we are a good team together, even if we have to suffer. It's just amazing. I'm really proud of the guy. Yeah, I hope we're going to continue like this.
You did suffer today, but you was always in the game, isn't it? What about this Sunderland team? You've got a real fight and belief that you're going to give this season a real good crack in the Premier League.
Yeah, of course. But we brought some player like Granit Xhaka, Nordi Mukiele, who came from Leverkusen, and they have the habit to win. To always believe, it doesn't matter what, and I think they bring the DNA, so we're really happy to play with them.
It's 5:30 on Saturday night, and Sunderland are currently second in the Premier League. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, but not so surprised. We have really good players. Our players are so good. Every day in the training, we are pushing each other a lot. So I'm surprised that we are second, because I didn't expect it to be so high, but I'm not surprised that we are playing so well.
Nice interview. George Cummins asking the questions, and he's also spoken to Enzo Maresca.
We were not good enough, simple like that. We start with the goal, but even with that, we were not winning duels. We were not winning second ball. That against these kind of teams is the main target.
You look so ruthless on Wednesday. What do you think's the difference between maybe the players not coming out with the same sharpness and ruthlessness today?
It's always, first of all, Premier League. We know that in the moment that you don't perform 100%, you can drop points against any team. I don't think our performance today was 100%. And the consequence is the final result.
Chelsea are 7th, Newcastle 11th after a late winner. They beat Fulham 2-1 at St James's Park. Bruno Guimaraes got the goal, so it's 4 defeats in a row for Fulham. Here's Marco Silva.
We know our qualities, our qualities as a collective point of view. We know what we are capable to do when we respect our identity, when you do the basic thing well, when we are all on it and we switch on every single moment of the game. For a team that cannot form a good results, we have to look for all the picture. Confidence is part of it. We show that results are not taking, but of course we all know that the players, they need good results to boost their confidence, to express better themselves as well, and we are going to face it. We are going to face this moment like we did face after the 3 wins in a row that we had before the defeat against Villa. We had one good moment and we face it. Now we are going to face stronger as a team, not with the best solutions in terms of depth. I said after the market closed that it's going to be a tough season in that aspect for us. The reality is where we are right now, and we have to move on.
That's Marco Silva, Fulham 16th after that. Trainer Aidan O'Brien had a 1-2-3 in the last big race of the flat season. That's the Futurity Trophy at Doncaster. Hawk Mountain gave it a record-extending 12th win in the event on the day that he was crowned champion trainer, and afterwards he spoke to John Hunt.
Well, Aidan Kirby, the latest to offer congratulations on another great year, and you've said goodbye to the British season with a brilliant win today.
Yeah, thanks, John. Delighted with him. He's a lovely horse. We thought he'd buy Wooden Basset, so there was a good chance he would handle the ground. He's a big, rangy, scopy horse, great mind. Yeah, absolutely delighted with him, John. He's a classic type horse that could start at a mile and could go on to 1.25 miles or 1.5 miles, so he's a classy horse.
Obviously, the numbers are very impressive for you again this year, Aidan. Champion trainer once again, and Sir Henry Cecil and Sir Michael Stout are not far ahead of you now in that all-time list. I'm taking it you must be really satisfied with another great year's work?
Yeah, delighted, John. Delighted for everybody. A lot of people work a lot harder than I do in this to make it happen, so I'm very grateful to them. Delighted for them. The lads put so much in, day out. They needn't leave the horses in Ireland with us. They could distribute them all over the world the way they used to. So we're very grateful for that, and it gives everyone great employment in our place. And listen, it's unbelievable to be able to come over and compete in these races. Very prestigious races, very difficult to win, so we don't take it anyway for granted.
Was there anything about this year, Aidan, that gave you particular satisfaction? Was there any one horse you thought to yourself, yeah, we did really well with that one this year?
Yes, I think listen, it's very hard to call out any horse, but obviously Delacroix was a great horse. We were over the moon with him. We lost Camille a little bit earlier than we would have liked. We thought he was a very good horse, and Henry was a little bit like that as well. But all special days. The Derby, a very special day. It always is. Very difficult race to win, and when it happens, it's very special. So
Lambourne, of course.
Yeah, Lambourne, exactly, John. But we've had so many great days where, you pinch yourself really. But we don't take it for granted, and we really appreciate when it does happen.
The great Aidan O'Brien speaking to the great John Hunt. 08085 909 693. Lines open for 606 with Aaron Paul and Chris Sutton. Afternoon, Chris.
Hello, Steve. Good evening.
Hello. I've said this about 15 times in the last hour. I'm going to do it once more. Sunderland are second in the Premier League, Chris.
Unbelievable. Sunderland fans should be thanking me, Steve, because I wrote them off again this week. I predicted they'd lose to Chelsea. Got the score wrong again. Sunderland won. That's down to me. Up to second. I mean, Sunderland fans, can you finish in a European spot? That was unthinkable, Steve, wasn't it, at the start of the season?
Yeah.
And I also want to hear from West Ham fans. Nuno in at West Ham, but no change of results. I think West Ham are in a real relegation scrap. I think West Ham fans would agree with it. We know the issues with the fans and the owners and what have you. But want to hear from West Ham fans. How worried are they? Coventry, 6 of the best. From Coventry, I think 6 wins on the trot under Frank Lampard. Looks like they're going to make a Premier League return. Don't know sort of Joan of them. And Norwich City, what's happened to the Canaries? Want to hear from Norwich fans. Liam Manning, is he under pressure? Or should they be looking sort of a little bit further up the chain and heads to roll there? But a little bit depressing being a Norwich City fan at this moment in time, Steve.
Well, so I hear, Chris, so I hear. Not so much being a Manchester United fan all of a sudden. So it depends what happens in this second half, doesn't it? But
and they could end up in fourth spot, I think. If I mean, what a turnaround! They've still got to get over the line this afternoon. And I've got to say, the decision not to award a penalty seemed really odd. The Diallo one that seemed an absolute certain penalty. Why Anthony Taylor didn't award it, I do not know. But Manchester United, they seem to have turned that corner that nobody believed that they could turn, Steve.
All right. Chris, thank you very much. Have a good one.
Thanks, Steve.
Chris Sutton and Aaron Paul, 08085 909 693 606 follows the second half at Old Trafford. John Murray.
Thank you very much, Steve. The reason was that seemingly De Kuyper did get a touch on the ball, although it was very difficult to see, Paul, wasn't it?
I'm with Chris. I couldn't believe it at the time. I mean, we called it, didn't we? Because we were slightly to the right-hand side of the halfway line here, looking directly into that 18-yard box, and I can't believe that the quality of referee that we've got on the field didn't give it, because there's absolutely no way that Anthony Taylor saw the minutest of touches that they're claiming there was.
Yep, well, VAR had a look and they saw it. But nevertheless, Manchester United scored 2 goals in the first half. Mateus Cunha and Casemiro has been credited with the goal that made it 2-0, the shot that was wickedly deflected in off Ayari. I've seen it again in the half-time break, and it did look as though Casemiro's shot was going wide. But anyway, it's been given to Casemiro. The second half underway, no changes at the break. Manchester United have got a free kick here in the central third. So Laman's in goal, Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw, the 3 central defenders. Maguire picked up an injury in training this week. He is in the director's box, or he was in the first half anyway, sitting a little way over to our left. Then Amad Diallo, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes and Diogo Dalot. And then the front line, the new arrivals in the summer, the three of them, and Mbeumo, Sesko and Cunha. Cunha has scored, Sesko might have scored, and Mbeumo's been quite heavily involved. In the Brighton team, for Bruggen in goal, then the back four of Vifa, Van Hecke, Dunk and De Kuyper, with Baliba and Ayari in midfield, Kadioglu on the right, Minte on the left, and then Rutter behind Welbeck. So 2-0 to Manchester United. With this scoreline, Manchester United would be fourth in the league. Van Hecke got an important touch there, otherwise Mbeumo could have been clean through, Paul, into the penalty area. In fact, Manchester United come again. Bruno Fernandes through the middle as Manchester United attack towards the Stretford end. Bruno Fernandes has remained down after the challenge on him, and Brighton will bring it forward. Rutter to Welbeck, first time touch from Welbeck. Now joining in the attack is Vifa. Kadioglu, socks down, blue and white striped shirts. And then Baliba's going to have a goal from 25 yards, and he's got that all wrong. And he's curled it probably 15 yards over the top of the bar into the Manchester United fans in the lower tier of the East stand.
He looked very relaxed when he approached that ball, didn't he, Baliba? Almost 30 yards from goal, no Manchester United players around him. Very, very slow run up to the ball, lean back, and then it went up and high above Lamens' goal. Bruno Fernandes is struggling. He took a knock to his left ankle in the build-up to that Brighton attack. The referee just checking he's all right, see if he needs any treatment.
So 2-0 Manchester United. That is the scoreline on the other side of Manchester as well. Brazil winning 2-0 against England. But Brazil have had a player sent off in that match. But that's on Sports Extra right now. And right now on Sports Extra 2, it is the third practice from the Mexican Grand Prix. Cunha now into a position, edge of the D. Amad Diallo's ball across the 6-yard box. That was blocked by a defender. It's come back to the Manchester United man. Amad Diallo plays it. Take a deflection. Cunha. And now Bruno Fernandes with a chance. That's saved by Verbruggen. Good save that. Diving to his left. It was from close range. He couldn't have been any more than 5 or 6 yards away, possibly less, when Bruno Fernandes hit the shot, Paul.
Oh, that's a brilliant save from Verbruggen. Really is. But in the build-up earlier on, the ball through from Cunha to Amad. Amad once again unselfishly looks to square it across the 6-yard box. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, the youngster. He's got to hit the strike at the target. I mean, very unselfishly, he looked for Sesko in the middle, but Amad was in a great position to have a shot.
If they could get the third goal, Manchester United, you would think that would be all 3 points heading their way for sure. De Ligt now heading away on the edge of the box. That comes out to De Kuyper. Left-footed ball in, dangerous, headed away by Dalot. It comes out to Vifa, but it wouldn't come down. The bouncing ball, and Bruno Fernandes was able to nip in, take it away, and then very nearly slipped the ball forward for Sesko, had it not been cut out by the diving Van Hecke.
He's furious, Van Hecke as well, the assistant on the far side. It did look like Sesko was offside. Bruno Fernandes just tried to play it in behind Van Hecke with the outside of his right boot, slipped it round initially, looked like Sesko was offside, conceded the throw in, so the offside obviously wasn't given. Looking at that chance again from Amad, it was a really good opportunity. I think he chose the wrong option to try and square it. Great save by Verbruggen in the end from Bruno Fernandes.
Manchester United come again. Sesko is challenged by Baliba, but the ball runs to Dalot. His cross all the way across the penalty area, but the offside flag is up, and it'll be a free kick to Brighton. So yes, this is 5 Live. Manchester United 2-0 up on Sports Extra right now. England against Brazil. Brazil winning 2-0. On Sports Extra 2, it is third practice, the commentary on the Mexican Grand Prix. And on Sports Extra 3, Leicester against Sale, with Leicester leading 22-7 in the Prem. Cunha goes down. Thought he might have been caught there by Vifa. Play continues and Manchester United win it back. And it's De Ligt, who I must say really is, well, he's certainly in the best form of his Manchester United career so far. As Sesko heads it through the middle and Mbeumo chasing, but Dunk was able to steer it back to Verbruggen and then out to Vifa, and Vifa is clipped by Bruno Fernandes, and it's a free kick to Brighton.
It's the option that Manchester United have. We speak about a long ball, but quite a lot of them are long passes, and with Sesko on the pitch, they can do that from De Ligt to Sesko, a flick on, and immediately Mbeumo's trying to run in behind.
Ball runs to Baliba in the centre circle. Baliba, there's no great sort of gung-ho from Brighton here. Back it goes again, and then through to Welbeck near the edge of the box. Kadioglu with the cross, headed away by Yoro, stretching back into his own penalty area. Vifa again, the right back with the peach-coloured boots, to Kadioglu. And now Van Hecker's ball into the penalty area. That's aerial, but the twisting header from Ayari, he also was stretching for it. He's not the tallest, and the ball drops well wide. And actually offside flag was up as well.
I think the balls that Brighton have put into the box, they're guilty of playing it in behind their own attacking line. The defensive line's there, the attackers, but nobody's been able to get any real purchase on the headers. Everything that's gone into the box has been behind the attacking line. No real good contact. As you say, though, there's no panic from Brighton yet. The structure's still the same, the system's the same. He believes in what he does, the manager, and he sent them out in the second half. Obviously the team talk will have been very, very different. It will be try and play on the front foot, and if we can get one back in, the dynamic of the game changes quickly.
The thing is, there's a consistency of selection for the most part now, Manchester United, and relationships are building, and here's Amad Diallo now able to take it on down the right-hand side, although Baliba is across there, forcing him to go back to Yoro, actually, who's on the right wing as well. Casemiro, little pass to his fellow Brazilian international Cunha turns, gives it back to Casemiro, and now Luke Shaw played an important part, as you said at the time, Paul, in the second goal, winning the ball back for Manchester United, and then it fell to Casemiro, who hit the shot that was deflected in.
I think that just shows where Manchester United have set the press, because it was halfway through the Brighton half, and it was Luke Shaw, one of the back three, that was up there winning the ball back.
And Shaw still in an advanced position with Dalot, the two of them working together. And in the end, Ayari has to turn and put it out of play for a throw into Manchester United, level with the edge of the penalty area. Yes, it struck me at Anfield last weekend when Harry Maguire was involved, and Mount, and Luke Shaw as well. All England internationals, but not in the England picture at the moment in terms of being in the potential World Cup squad. Plenty of time yet, and a better season for Manchester United obviously would certainly help their cause. And Burmo playing it back now to Casemiro, lifts it over the top. There's too much on that, and it just bounces through to Verbruggen. So more commentary matches tomorrow. In fact, this weekend we're bringing a commentary on 8 of the 10 Premier League matches across our various platforms. So all of the matches at 2 o'clock tomorrow you'll be able to hear either on 5 Live, Sports Extra 2 or Sports Extra 3. It's Arsenal Crystal Palace, the leaders. Their commentary will be here on 5 Live, and then 4:30 Everton against Tottenham. My first trip to the new Everton Stadium tomorrow, Paul.
Looking forward to it, John.
Have you been?
Not yet, no. I've got the Newcastle game penciled in the coming weeks, but no, like you, very much looking forward to it.
Yes, look, I'm going to try and get there a little earlier than normal, just to get my bearings and all of that. Also working with Sue Smith tomorrow as well, which I'm looking forward to. First time we've worked together. Brighton going to make a couple of changes. Tom Watson and James Milner being prepared, and then Ayari mocked by the Manchester United supporters for passing the ball behind Minte and out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United. So yeah, it does have the feel, doesn't it, that Fabian Hürzeler needs to make a couple of changes.
Looking like he is going to shuffle his pack 10 minutes into this second half. There's been no real change, no real shift in forward momentum from Brighton. It's Manchester United that have had the better attacking opportunities, and he's not wasting his time. He's going to make 2 substitutions before the hour mark.
Yeah, the old and the young, Watson and Milner. Back to Dunk, who will pass it forward to Baliba, who is challenged by Casemiro, and then Ruta is able, with his arms flailing, is able to come in and keep possession for Brighton, as we will head back to England-Brazil, because Katie Smith.
England penalty, Beth Mead brought down in the box. Georgia Stanway standing over the ball, and she strikes it down low and left, and it's in. England have pulled one back. England 1, Brazil 2.
So back in the balance, all given away by Ayari. Sesko shoots, but straight at goalkeeper Verbruggen, who just stands up. It was right between his eyes, and he was able to get his fists up, Paul, the Brighton goalkeeper, and parry it away, and then it found its way back to him.
Once again, Brighton giving away possession inexplicably in their own 20 yards between there and the goal. Awful from Ayari. Passes the ball straight to Sesko. He's got loads of time and space. He hits it well, Sesko. He strikes it extremely well. Firm and powerful, but unfortunately for him, straight at the goalkeeper. You've got to be putting it either side of the goalkeeper from that distance.
Another unforced error from Brighton. I know they've conceded a free kick, Vifa, with a foul on Cunha. But that's happened again and again and again in the match.
In their own, within 25 yards of their own goal. I mean, that's just... It's really poor from Brighton and Ayari. There's no real pass on. He's trying to thread it.
Free kick taken. Cunha curls it in, but too close for Bruggen. All in yellow, who's able to step forward out of his 6-yard box and take the ball cleanly. So the score, if you just switched on, Manchester United leading Brighton by 2-0. The 5:30 commentary on 5 Live, as is the case all season long, and indeed for the next 3 seasons as well. And it's actually going to be a 3-way change for Brighton. I think after that latest period of play, Fabian Hürzeler said, yeah, let's have another one as well. As De Ligt slides in and puts the challenge in on Vifa. Manchester United able to find Cunha, and then the tall Sesko chests it down on the halfway line, but Believer and Ayari are able to win it back between them together.
You're absolutely right there, John. There was the substitutions. It was going to be a double substitution from Brighton, but immediately after that possession of good play from Manchester United, Fabian Hürzeler's staff called another one of these substitutes back. Looks like it's going to be Diego Gomez, and it is going to be a treble substitution the next time the ball goes out of play.
Yeah, Gomez, he was the one change today, the Paraguayan international, and he did go off last week and had a little bit of a hip problem, but fit enough to be on the bench here. Maybe hasn't played a full part in training this week. I'm told that's the same that applies to Mason Mount, incidentally, why he wasn't in the starting lineup today, because he wasn't able to play a full part in training this week. As Manchester United lose it in their own left-back position. Cunha, Minte has 3 United red shirts around him, and Bruno Fernandes is able to get a touch on the intended pass to Vifa, and Brighton have to start again from the halfway line. Just over half an hour to play, and yes, next time it goes out, we're going to see this triple substitution by Fabian Hürzeler. They're still just about still in this. Manchester United 2-0 up, as Karioglu, who's now over on the left-hand side, brings the ball in field. Challenge on Ayari, then Welbeck. Now Minte's ball in all the way across goal. Well, Welbeck was trying to get there. It was curled in teasingly by the left foot of Minte. Welbeck saying that there was a Manchester United touch off possibly Yoro or even the goalkeeper. But referee Anthony Taylor says no, it's a goal kick. And here come the 3 Brighton changes then. And it's Believer who is being substituted. He is on a yellow card from the midfield. But he's not had the best of days today, and in fact actually leaves the field shaking his head as well. So James Milner comes on to replace him. And also coming to this side of the field, it's De Kuyper. So Gomez is going to come on from him. So I'm thinking Karioglu will drop back into the left-back position. And Ayari, who, as we've said during the course of the commentary, he has been guilty of giving the ball away on a number of occasions.
So you know what you said, John, about that passage of play? We were just speaking about Ayari giving the ball away straight to Sesko. It was thinking back now, as soon as he gave that ball away, Ayari, manager called back another substitute, and it must have been his number that was in his head. Right, I've seen enough, he's coming off.
Yeah, so Milner, Watson and Gomez, the 3 to come on. Tom Watson, the teenager, the northeasterner who scored the goal memorably for Sunderland to win the playoff final against Sheffield United. And look at Sunderland now, second place in the league after their win at Stamford Bridge this afternoon.
Biggest thing you can say about Sunderland, the compliment you can pay them, is the turnover of players that they've had. You know, the new players, it's all very well and good, but to bed new players in and to have that many changes into a starting 11 and integrate them with some of what the team did well last year, they've had an incredible start.
Yeah, if you're a Sunderland supporter, I'm sure Chris Sutton and Aaron Paul tonight will want to hear from you on 606, and the lines are open, 08 085 909 693. It'll be a while since Sunderland fans rang in with their team second in the Premier League, as Ruta is blocked by Shaw. Brighton wanted a free kick, not given. Sesko to Mbeumo, edge of the box, left foot shot, it's in! It's 3-0 Manchester United! Brian Mbeumo for Bruggen, diving down to his left, couldn't get there. And Manchester United now are backing up that win at Anfield last weekend, on course for 3 wins in a row now. 3-0 against Brighton.
He's been excellent, Brian Mbeumo. Sesko is in the middle of the park, he turns and he's got loads of time and space. And Mbeumo from that deeper position, he's timing his run superbly. Ball through to him. He looks like he's going to go across the goalkeeper, but he closes his foot, puts it in the near post of Verbruggen. Really good play from Manchester United, but again it comes from Brighton losing possession. They're arguing with the referee Anthony Taylor. They think there was a foul on Jorginho Rutter. Turnover was quick, it was decisive. Sesko into Mbeumo, gets it on his left foot, reverses it into the near post. 3-0 Manchester United.
Yeah, good finish. Might have just taken a little flick off Dunk, actually. Through his legs, possibly, Paul. Might have just... But the feeling is that, as you said, Paul, whether Rutter was fouled by Shaw. Well, he was. I mean, he had his shirt pulled back.
And they're not happy beneath us on the Brighton bench. They're certainly not happy, but the goal's been given, as you can tell by the noise.
But of course, it depends what phase, doesn't it, that the foul happened, and it's been cleared. The goal has been given, and the match has restarted with Manchester United now 3-0 up on Brighton and Hove Albion. Listen to Old Trafford now. I'm not sure how often it sounded like this, certainly for a Premier League match during the time of Ruben Amorim's career.
It was a different feeling, wasn't there? I mean, parking across, walking over from Media City today, speaking to some of the fans outside, there was just a feeling of optimism, a positive week that they had after a victory against their arch rivals last week. All of a sudden the feeling of coming into this game with hope and expectation, more feeling they were going to win than wondering what was going to happen.
A bit of an old-fashioned feeling for Manchester United supporters, you might say. I mean, it's still very, very early days. But it is true, you know, I agree with you, Paul. I've sensed that as well. Casemiro hitting a long pass over the top. It's bounced off Van Hecke. Sesko's chasing. Van Hecke just gets there first and is able to play it back to goalkeeper Verbruggen. So Manchester United 3, Brighton 0. Cunha and Casemiro in the first half, although I wouldn't be surprised if that gets taken off him eventually. And now Mbeumo as well. And the next thing they'll want, Paul, with your goalkeeping hat on, your defensive hat on, they'll want
a clean sheet, obviously, and I think that's important. I think he had one on his debut here, Lamans against Sunderland. Difficult game, obviously, away last week against Liverpool. But he's got another opportunity to get 2 in 3 games today, and he's not really been troubled that much by Brighton.
He hasn't really, has he? As Brighton come forward trying to do that, looking for Welbeck, but that's well defended by De Ligt. And De Ligt then, also this is significant too, De Ligt is he's headed the ball behind, and now he's giving off to his teammates there and asking more from them. Matthijs De Ligt.
There's been a togetherness, hasn't there, among Manchester United today? I was impressed with the tracking back of Ahmad, the work of Cunha, the work of Mbeumo. Certainly we've not seen that level of defensive commitment from forward-thinking players before, and actually holding players to account on the pitch, as De Ligt did there.
Luke Shaw is going to be replaced by Aidan Heaven. So Luke Shaw comes off. Always with Luke Shaw, you do think, is he okay? But it seems to be okay. He's having a chat there with Ruben Amorim, the two of them in discussions, and Aidan Heaven is on. And Manchester United have got to defend this corner after De Ligt headed it over. So a deep corner. Welbeck stretching, can't get a touch, and it's all the way through the far side of the goal for a Manchester United goal kick.
Yeah, you did look towards the bench there for Luke Shaw. He had a quick word with Ruben Amorim. He's not gone in, he's not gone down the touchline, he's sat on the bench, there's no ice pack. The only thing you would question is making a substitute while you're defending a corner. We very rarely see that, so you did wonder if there was a slight knock. I'm sure we'll find out, but he looks okay, Luke Shaw. Manchester United successfully defend the corner kick.
Well, he's had a run, hasn't he, in the team now, even though we are still only in October. But that's 9 starts this season for Luke Shaw, already more starts than he had for Manchester United in the whole of last season. And I noticed the television screen here again focusing on his grab on Ruta in the build-up to the 3rd Manchester United goal. Fabian Hürzeler will talk about that post-match, that's guaranteed. As the ball's played forward for Watson, but Watson under pressure from Euro can only get a touch on that and sends it through to the Manchester United goalkeeper Lammers.
An air of calm in Old Trafford for a change. 3-0 up in the 66th minute. Certainly a situation that Ruben Amorim hasn't experienced many times as a Manchester United manager. One I'm sure he'll be enjoying. They look a lot more comfortable in their own skin. He's not going to change the formation, he's not going to make dramatic changes to the formation, but the way that they're playing is noticeably different.
Well, the talk was last week about whether it was his best moment, as they say, as Manchester United manager when they won at Anfield. I mean, you were here when they won against Lyon in the Europa League. I mean, that was mad, crazy, great feeling, wasn't it? But in terms of where they want to get to...
Is that when Connor's voice went when Harry Maguire scored? It was memorable, wasn't it? Absolutely superb. I mean, that was one of the old-fashioned Manchester United nights in European football. But I think the Liverpool victory on the back of the Sunderland victory, you can maybe, I don't know whether you can gauge the manager, but he looks different, whether he can just sense that finally I'm getting across what I want. And he's got a group of players here that seem to now work as hard going towards their own goal as they do going forward. And I think there's a certain element that the goalkeeper's brought a lot of calmness to the team as well.
Yeah. Manchester United now in control. And again, there's a phrase that I have not used very often when I've been commentating on Manchester United matches in recent times. So often it's felt in the latter times of Erik ten Hag, and as I say, it's a year next week that Erik ten Hag was sacked. That it just felt very often there was a crisis just round the corner, and that's been the case for most of Ruben Amorim's time as the manager as well, as he approaches his 1st anniversary of being appointed. Here's Kadioglu for Brighton, and Tom Watson playing it infield. And then Gomez comes short and he gets it back. We're going to head for an update in a moment or two on the England-Brazil match. That match is in the balance, the friendly international between England and Brazil. Oh, nice play from Minte, puts it through the legs of Dalot, then on a run into the edge of the area, but Cunha was defending his own box. Manchester United's number 10 and the home side have got it back. So let's go back to the Manchester City Stadium and Katie Smith.
Where it's England 1, Brazil 2, Brazil down to 10. Georgia Stanway bringing England back into the game from the spot. They're pushing for an equaliser. Serena Wiegman's just made a couple of changes. On comes Aggie Beaver-Jones, who's just had a shot on target. And Lucy Bronze, who played the entirety of the Euros with that fracture in her leg. A bit of history today. Her 141st cap. She moves 4th on the all-time appearance list for the Lionesses, overtaking Alex Scott.
And you can listen to that right now on Sports Extra. Vicky Sparks and Lindsay Johnson with a commentary. And Paul, the Premier League Match Centre have put out an explanation about the foul by Shaw on Ruta in the build-up to that goal. And they say the contact from Shaw on Ruta was deemed to be minimal.
Used that word a couple of times today, haven't they? Yeah. In the penalty that Manchester United should have had.
Here come the next 2 Manchester United changes. Dorgu and Mainu are going to come on for Amad Diallo, who gets a hug from Dalot as he crosses the field to take his position over there. So Patrick Dorgu, who is 21 tomorrow, Patrick Dorgu is about to come onto the field, and Casemiro being roared off as well, and similarly Kobbie Mainoo being roared on. But these are the cheers for Casemiro, and he does a full 360 degrees, clapping his hands above his head with his black gloves on. Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo, so popular here, comes on to replace him in the midfield, Paul.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Kobbie Mainoo's future in the summer, wasn't there? Looks like he's got himself back into the thinking.
They've given it away again, Brighton. Bruno Fernandes, Vamos steers it just wide. So close, hit the foot of the post, I think. Or did Verbruggen get a touch on that? Again, Brighton. only got themselves to blame.
Can't believe how sloppy Brighton have been in possession. They've been really poor decision making and passes in their own defensive final third. Van Hecker it is this time, plays a short pass. Bruno Fernandes reads it very, very easily, rolls it square across the box to Mbeumo. Looks like the goalkeeper might have got the faintest of touches onto the post.
Touch on the post.
Really good save from Verbruggen.
It's a Manchester United corner, which I think is their first. Bruno Fernandes takes it in, but that's headed away by Vifa. Comes out to Dorgu, whose pass is a little short. Watson's cut that out for Brighton. Watson goes for an early pass downfield for Minte. Minte got the touch on it, but Dorgu was doing enough to put him off. In fact, he fouled him.
He's got to go. He'll send him off.
He was the last man.
He's not touched the ball yet.
And that has to be deemed as the denial. It's not. It's a yellow card. It's a yellow card for Dorgu.
How?
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing the explanation for that. And I think Lewis Dunk has certainly asked the question, how is that not a red card, only a yellow card? And Fabian Hurtzler and his staff are all asking the fourth official, Gavin Ward, down on the side of the pitch, and they're all gathered round. They're saying, how is that not a red card? Well, it's the two of them challenged for the ball. There is another defender, Cunha it is, who's running alongside, and that must be the reason that it's not a red card.
The only way I can think is that Cunha's next to him, or the ball's ended up in the goalkeeper's arms. It's a lovely ball through from Tommy Watson, who's just come on, plays through Kuba Minta, and he's one-on-one. He's absolutely through, but his touch is heavy, and the touch rolls through into the goalkeeper Lamans' hands. The game's paused. There's a silence around Old Trafford. Fabian Hurtzler's in the ear of the fourth official beneath us. The referee's talking to the Brighton players.
And the decision from VAR has backed up Anthony Taylor. No red card. It says on the little screens here, check complete.
There's been some strange decisions today. There really has. I mean, interesting one to watch match of the day this evening. Make for them yourself what you will. But I think Manchester United should have had a certain penalty in the first half. And how they've still got 11 players on the pitch, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, more talking points for 606 08 085 909 693, and calls are free from mobiles and landlines to 606 on that number. Text 85058. Your standard message rate, or you can send a message now on social media, hashtag BBC 606. Aaron Paul and Chris Sutton taking your calls on 606. So the net result is a free kick to Brighton in a good position, and the substitute Diego Gomez is interested in this. Senna Lamans has hardly been tested so far, the new Manchester United goalkeeper. Minte to the right of the ball. Welbeck's there as well. It is Welbeck who curls it and scores! Super goal from Danny Welbeck. In the goals again against his former club. And Brighton on the score sheet. Manchester United 3, Brighton 1.
Oh, it's a wonderful free kick from Danny Welbeck. Great position outside the box. What is it, 5 yards outside the box? Big Manchester United wall. Draft excluder underneath it. He manages to get it up and down and into the top right-hand corner of Lamans' goal. See the replay now. Goalkeeper manages to get a step. It's not in the corner, it's in the middle of the goal. I question the Manchester United goalkeeper could have done better with that. It's a brilliant free kick. He gets it up and down, but it's 3-4 yards into the goal. It's nowhere near the corner of the goal.
Dipping though, Paul, isn't it?
Dipping, but he doesn't get enough spring, doesn't get a step in, he doesn't spring after it. It's one that he should do better with.
Yeah, so it's hit with a high trajectory and it dips in just under the crossbar. Watson now for Brighton, suddenly surging forward. It was Watson who played the super pass forward for Dorgu that led to the free kick. Brighton now will be, as FIFA gives it, and then Watson! Left foot shot, but that's well saved by Lamans, securely down to his right. Wasn't right in the bottom corner, but it still needed saving.
All of a sudden the Manchester United defence looks a little bit scrappy. Just needs somebody to take control of the ball, grab possession. Good play again from Brighton. They can smell a little bit of danger. Found some Manchester United mistakes. Comes into Tommy Watson. The edge of the box. De Ligt turns his back on it. It's a good strike. That one's easier for the goalkeeper. All of a sudden Ruben Amorim becoming a lot more animated on the touchline.
So it's not over yet, Paul. 3-1 to Manchester United. Still England 1, Brazil 2. In the Sports Extra commentary match, Serena Wiegmann's side trying to come from 2-0 down in that match. Leicester still well in front of Sports Extra 3. The practice session, the Mexican Grand Prix, is on Sports Extra 2 on the BBC Sounds app, as Brighton win it back on the edge of the area. Gomez with a shot, but that's blocked by a defender. Comes back to De Ligt, who clears it away downfield. And we should remind you that this is not the last Premier League match of the day. Brentford-Liverpool is the 8 o'clock kickoff tonight. We'll keep you updated on that during the course of 6:06 and the boxing later. And the team news is in with you there, James Gregg.
Yes, Liverpool making 3 changes, John, to the side that thrashed Eintracht Frankfurt in midweek. In come then Conor Bradley, Milos Kerkez and Mo Salah. They all start. There's no Alexander Isak in the squad at all, but there is 18-year-old Kieran Morrison on the bench, named in the first matchday squad of his career for Liverpool. Brentford are unchanged, unsurprisingly, from that team that won at West Ham on Monday.
So as expected, Salah back into the starting lineup, but no Isak. So James will keep you informed about that during the course of the evening. Brighton now are having their best spell of the match. 3-0 down, but Danny Welbeck's goal. And now Minte into the penalty area, heavy touch, which meant that Aidan Heaven could step across and put it out of play as he slid in with a challenge just down in front of us as Brighton attack towards the end where their noisy supporters are in the corner. If you've been here as an away fan, you'll know exactly where they are. FIFA, Minte again, but this cross is blocked by Dorgu out of play. Incidentally, for Danny Welbeck now, that is 7 goals against Manchester United that he's scored against United since leaving the club. Over 10 years ago now it was, when he was sold under Louis van Gaal to Arsenal. Here is Minte again. Left-footed ball in from the right-hand side, but too close to Lamans, the goalkeeper, who's able to gather it into his chest. And now, with what have we got? Less than 15 minutes to go. I see Fabian Hürzeler is also going to bring on the young Greek striker, one of their summer arrivals. Haralampos Kostoulas is preparing to come onto the pitch, but here's Welbeck just outside the D, gives it to Minte. Minte now on his left foot, no, curls it, but I think he was maybe caught in 2 minds there, and in the end the attempted curling shot was well wide of the far post. Brighton are going to make the change here, so let's go back to Katie Smith with the latest on England-Brazil.
England 1, Brazil 2. We played 74 minutes here. England pushing desperately now for this equaliser in this friendly against next World Cup hosts in 2027. Alessia Russo moments ago with a header just a couple of yards out, just over the crossbar. England 1, Brazil 2.
So Kostoulas is on, Paul, for Jorginho Ruta is the Brighton player who has left the field.
Yeah, an attacking change, and Ruben Amorim there used the opportunity in the break-in play, called his captain Bruno Fernandes over to the touchline, and they're in quite an interesting in-depth conversation. He's gone back out onto the pitch, hasn't passed on any messages yet, but I'm sure it was a let's calm down, take possession, start putting some passes together, and don't give the ball away as they just have done.
They have. Lamans has given it away with one of his attempted long clearances. Kostoulas into the action straight away. This tall Greek striker, the number 19, keeps possession, takes it out into the full-back area, the Manchester United left-back area, and they go back towards the edge of the box. Well, they had control, almost at the point, Paul, where I said Manchester United are in control. They've lost control.
Well, when the third went in, you thought 3 goals meant 3 points, didn't you? But Brighton had other ideas, and like we say, the fragility at times of Manchester United, even at 3-0, the game's not done. We enter in the last 10 minutes almost. Brighton 2 behind, but you still wouldn't rule out another goal causing all kinds of nervousness and problems. There's certainly been an atmosphere shift inside Old Trafford.
Yeah, so therefore Amorim's going to make a couple of changes of his own. Ugarte and Xerxes are going to come on. Storman come back by Sale, by the way, in the match in the Prem, as Dorgu comes forward. It's now Leicester 36, Sale 35, and commentary on that on Sports Extra 3 only on the BBC Sounds app. Ball out of play for a throw into Brighton, so Ugarte and Xerxes will not come on now. Brighton take the throw. So there's a little bit of nervousness now. You can probably hear it. The Brighton fans in more optimistic, but probably they've got too much to do. But there are still 10 minutes to go, and the Brighton supporters Long trip home for them after this. Not as far as the Liverpool fans have got. After an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday night, as Sesko challenges Van Hecke, who ends up on the ground. There must have been a flailing arm there. Anthony Taylor pulls out the yellow card for Sesko now.
Yeah, clumsy from Sesko. Long ball from Manchester United this time, trying to clear the lines, get down the other end of the field. Sesko just steps across Van Hecke, puts his arm across and catches him in the face.
Right, Cunha is going to be replaced by Xerxes. Well, he'll never forget this night, Paul. Matheus Cunha, when he scored his first goal for Manchester United in the 24th minute of the match.
Yeah, it was a lovely finish as well, wasn't it? Certainly didn't look like a player that had gone this amount of time for his new club without scoring. Really well taken goal, lovely first touch. Took his time and picked the corner. Defensive changes in mind and fresh legs. Players with defensive mind. Xerxes gone up the top, replaced Sesko. Mbeumo, for me, I think he's been really impressive today, playing on that right-hand side, non-stop working.
Yep, so Sesko is off, Ugarte is on. So now they have Ugarte, Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo in the midfield. And Ruben Amorim making changes in response to the match situation now, with Manchester United 3-1 up on Brighton and still very much on course to make it 4 wins from their last 5, 3 in a row for Amorim, which will equal his best run as the Manchester United manager. 3 wins in a row in all competitions. It will be 3 wins in a row in the Premier League for the first time, obviously, having made it to 2 in a row last weekend for the first time. Here's Xerxes now for Manchester United, carries the ball out towards the left-hand side. In comes Van Hecke with the challenge. Final touch was off the Manchester United man, so Vifa is going to take this throw. Vifa just waits for the various options. Up it goes to Minte, bounces off him. Minte's done well though, he's been able to find Kadioglu, and Kadioglu has some space to take it on and gives it to Watson to his left. Watson runs across the corner of the penalty area, and Mbeumo is able to get a foot in on that, and Mbeumo keeps it in play. And then it's cleared away downfield by Dalot, who's now the right wing back since Amad Diallo went off. Kobbie Mainoo now rolling the ball into the path of Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is able to get Manchester United downfield. Touch from Mainoo, back to Bruno Fernandes. He hits the shot, which hits the back of the legs of Van Hecke. Spins away to the flanks where Minte keeps it in play. And then eventually the ball runs back into possession of Manchester United. Just over 5 minutes to play. What are we? We're in the 84th minute.
There are going to be times in the game where Manchester United are going to have to suffer. You know, they're not a team that are firing all cylinders at the top level or the finished article by any way. Yes, there has been an improvement in performance, but actually in games at the moment they're going to have to learn to get over patches like this. They're going to learn to be without the ball, learn to suffer, dig in as a team and get through, as they're doing at the moment. They've retained possession, stringing some passes together, trying to take the sting out of the game.
Laman's playing the ball long into the centre circle. Dunk steps forward, wins it. Then Watson now to the edge of the penalty area. Kostulas. Welbeck tries to battle his way through, but it just bounces away off him and through for Lamans to clear away again. But that has only succeeded in giving possession back to Brighton again, and that's the issue, isn't it? When you do hit the long balls, then there is that danger that you just give possession back to the opponents, and that's what's happening here. And now Kadioglu again for Brighton. Back to Dunk, another Brighton goal, and suddenly the mood will be completely different. Van Hecke to Minte, Dorgu in, but Dorgu commits himself. Minte managed to get away, needed Aidan Heaven to come across and put the challenge in to knock it out of play. Quick throw taken, the ball was on the little cone there on the side of the pitch, so Brighton can keep this momentum going. Van Hecke, and now Vifa near the edge of the box, important touch there from Ugarte, and then Bruno Fernandes, he's dispossessed by Van Hecke. Dorgu tries to win the foul, he's succeeded in doing that, just shielded it from Minte, who was all over the back of him, went down, won the free kick.
It's pointless from Minte, it really is pointless, frustrating those Brighton fans in the corner away to our right hand side. dog who's facing his own goal. He's running to the dead ball line. Minter's got nothing. He's got nowhere to go. Minter's all over his back. He's too anxious to try and get the ball, too eager to win the ball. Commits the foul, gives Manchester United the opportunity to clear their lines, get up the other end of the pitch and go long into Xerxes.
Now, their other relatively new Greek forward, Stefanos Tsimas, is also going to be sent on, the number 9. Another teenager, such a young team. Xerxes now. Xerxes challenged by Van Hecke, went down. Gomez is in there as well. That looked as though it might have been a foul on Xerxes. He's up. He's pleading for that free kick, but Anthony Taylor says no. And so Brighton are able to break away with Minte, and then Bruno Fernandes is able to get to the ball first, ahead of Minte, who's fouled him, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
How that wasn't a free kick on Xerxes on the edge of the box from Van Hecke, I really don't know. The referee's let a lot go today, but he's missed a lot as well.
So Brighton are going to make this change with Tsimas coming on to replace the right back, FIFA, actually. So the change is made quickly. Manchester United 3, Brighton 1 is the score here on the west side of Manchester, while on the east side of Manchester, Katie Smith.
It's still England 1, 10-player, Brazil 2. Georgia Stanway's just pinged one off the crossbar from distance. But that cheer you can hear, John, is deja vu. Less than 10 minutes to play. Who has come on? Michelle Adjeman, who twice rescued England's Euros this summer with late minute equalisers. Can she do it again here? It's England 1, Brazil 2.
Listen to that right now on Sports Extra. If you're in your car in Manchester right now, well, about 10 minutes time from now, this match is going to be over, and on the other side of Manchester, that match is going to be over. So if I were you, I'd get where you need to be to quickly.
Well, where does that leave me and you?
Well, we haven't got any choice. Here's Bruno Fernandes playing it through. Xerxes slides in, the ball runs away. Gomez is going to pass it away calmly as well, actually. Passes it forward towards Tsimas, who's just come on, the signing from Germany, from Nuremberg during the summer, and then it's swept across field. Welbeck chests it down. Welbeck on his left foot, still going Welbeck, and then angles it back. Couldn't find the opportunity to shoot. Karioglu will do though, and Lamens has to dive to his right and push it away around the post for a corner.
Really good strike from Karioglu. They've not finished yet, Brighton. It's a long way out. It's almost 30 yards from goal. He gets the whip, he gets the dip and bend on it. Lamens takes no chances. It's an easy save for the goalkeeper down to his right-hand side. Two hands, palms it round the post for a corner, but they're still going, Brighton.
Yeah, Welbeck scored 4 in his last 3. Now make that 5 in 4. Trying to find the position for the shot, but it didn't open up for him. Corner headed away by Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United. Brighton again with Gomez. And then on the right-hand side, here comes the cross from Milner, which is headed across the penalty area by Tsimas, but Manchester United able to clear it away. And now Brian Mbeumo trying to win the free kick. He's not got one. And Karioglu, and then it's angled infield to Welbeck, left side of the box now, and then Ugarte is able to step in and cut out the intended pass from Welbeck. But Mbeumo can't keep possession. Kobbie Mainoo, though, does win it back from another former academy man, Welbeck, and then plays it forward for Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes looking to square it across the penalty area. Finds his attempted centre blocked away by none other than James Milner, putting in the defensive challenge in an important position.
Much to the delight of the Manchester United fans, Bruno Fernandes, the stress reliever, gets it on the halfway line. He does extremely well, just flicks it past the Brighton defender. Dunk on the halfway line, runs it into the corner, draws the challenge in from James Milner and gets Manchester United a throw in deep in Brighton territory.
Lines open for 606 08 085 909 693. Plenty to talk about today, not least this match and some of the incidents in it with Aaron Paul and Chris Sutton. And if you're a Truro City fan, by the way, I'm sure they'll want to hear from you as well after their long trip to Gateshead, where they were 2-0 up and got a 2-2 draw in the end. The longest trip in English football, Truro City to Gateshead, as Kobbie Mainoo has a little surge forward, but it results in a goal kick to Brighton. Paul Robinson.
Yeah, time is running out. The fourth official beneath us, he's got the board in his hand. We just wait to see how long Brighton have got left.
How many do you think?
Oh, I reckon they'll give it a few, maybe 5.
I think I might go 7. Here's a ball down the right-hand side for Watson to chase. Oh, here we are. It's 7.
That's amazing how you've got that Premier League app open next to you and you could just guess at 7, isn't it, John? Extremely well done, sir.
What a coincidence.
10 out of 10 for an initiative.
What a happy coincidence. It's out of play for a goal kick to Manchester United. I think what we've seen, Paul, here shows where Manchester United are. You know, at a point where they're in control, heading for 3 wins out of 3. You said, you know, this confidence is still fragile. Welbeck smacks one in from the free kick, and suddenly it's a different feel again.
Yeah, that nervousness is still there, that susceptibility is still there, but actually, you know, it's 11 months, nearly a year that he's been in the job. This is the first time where they've strung these type of results together. Listen, they've beaten Chelsea, Sunderland, Liverpool. Now it's looking like they've beaten Brighton. We're talking about good teams, and actually the performance levels you can see have increased. The formation's still the same. They're not as easy to play against. Defensively, they are still porous at times. And like you say, that nervous edge is there. But what I've seen today with Mbeumo, with Ahmad, with Cunha, the tracking back, the willingness to work, the togetherness of a team, there's certainly shoots of something that is taken him a long time to get to.
Leicester have beaten Sale by 36 points to 35. Brighton now with a chance on the, or almost on the edge of the penalty area. It was Kostulas, the substitute, received it with his back to goal, turned and shot, but by then Manchester United had got buddies in the way. Heaven it was who stepped and deflected it wide of goal. Corner.
Just looking now in the Manchester United boxes, the voices in there, the leaders on the pitch. Now Luke Shaw's gone off, the organisation that they're going to need.
Oh, chance in, it's headed in! Kostulas has scored from the corner, found space on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it is 3-2 now. In added time, plenty of it. Haralampus Kostulas scores his first goal for Brighton and Hove Albion at Old Trafford against Manchester United, the 18-year-old, and it's Manchester United 3, Brighton 2.
Now there's a nervousness inside Old Trafford. 5 minutes, maybe slightly more of injury time still to go. Such an easy corner to concede. Spoke about the organisation, the leaders in that Manchester United defence. It's a brilliant corner from James Milner. I had it arrowed into the near post, slightly away swinging. Kostulas gets his head to it, gets there first, gets in front of the Manchester United defenders. Nothing Lamans can do about that. Sets up a really nervous finish.
Still got, well, best part of 5 minutes to play. Manchester United nerves now. Match changes completely. Manchester United were winning 3-0. It looked as though they were surely bound to make it 3 wins out of 3, go to 4th place in the Premier League.
But just as you were saying, John, the point you were making was absolutely bang on. We've seen everything today about Manchester United and where they're at. The old frailties, the old susceptibility. Yes, there's the new confidence going forward, the way that they're playing. But actually, we spoke before, is the corner turned? Are they out the woods? This last 10-15 minutes have shown they might not be yet. But actually, if they do manage to get over the line, the manager will take a lot of positives.
Anxious time as well for that Manchester United fan who's not going to get his hair cut until they win 5 matches in a row. Here's Mbeumo, who runs it away towards the halfway line, and then he's challenged by Kadioglu, who brings him down. Yellow card for the Turkish international.
Is that what it is? 5 matches he's got. So if they do get over the line today, he's then got to worry about Nottingham Forest away and Tottenham away. Yeah. two rather difficult games on the road to come.
Yeah. It was in my mind because I was on with Paddy Keelty on 5 Live this morning, and he reminded me about him, and he's already not cut his hair for a year, he said. Here's Kobe Mainoo going back towards the halfway line. Manchester United now just trying to calm things, and Brighton think they've got a sniff here. Manchester United's bogey team in recent seasons, looking to come back from 3-0 down to draw 3-3. And Mbeumo, now Dalot plays it into the penalty area, and Dunk, initial challenge, and then he continued on, and when it bounced away from him, 50-50 with Dalot, who's gone down injured, and then a foul on Bruno Fernandes by Kostulas, and it's a free kick to Manchester United halfway inside the Brighton half, and they will not be rushing this.
No, that was Dalot looking for the free kick initially. He's still down on the edge of the box looking for the free kick. Bruno Fernandes draws the free kick very cleverly. Referee gives the free kick to Manchester United and gives them that breather that they so desperately needed, because Brighton were just getting ahead of steam.
3-2, Manchester United 3, Brighton 2. Still England 1, Brazil 2. Final knockings of that right now on Sports Extra. More live sport tonight on 5 Live. The Joseph Parker, Fabio Wardley fight will be on 5 Live from 10. Free kick taken short, Bruno Fernandes. Then it's worked back, Dalot. Back to Bruno Fernandes, the angle's tight, he shoots it, saved by the goalkeeper. very tight angle, but it was on target, and he saved it with his body for Bruggen.
That was a chance for the game right there for Manchester United. Brilliant 1-2 between Bruno Fernandes and Diego Dalot. Bruno Fernandes on the angle, just on the corner of the 6-yard box, just goes for pace and power, fires it hard with his laces at Verbruggen, who stands tall, makes the block. Just wonder, is there one more opportunity for Brighton?
What an entertaining game it's been, Paul.
Superb, hasn't it? Really good game.
Out of play now on the halfway line. 7 minutes of added time. We've had 5.5, so less than 90 seconds now for Brighton to see if they can squeeze an unlikely equaliser out of this from 3-0 down. If they did that, mood completely changed, but Mbeumo could be in to win it! That has to do it! Mbeumo on his left foot drives it above Verbruggen. Brighton aren't happy. Verbruggen is appealing to the assistant on the far side, but Mbeumo makes it 4-2 Manchester United, and that will take them over the line.
He's been the best player on the pitch today, Ryan Mbeumo. He finally looks like he's given Manchester United the 3 points that for so long they look destined to have so comfortably this afternoon. Camera zooming on Ruben Amorim, he's laughing, he's shaking his head. The relief you can see is clear in his face. It's a superb finish from Brian Mbeumo, it really is. He's worked tirelessly the whole game. He's looked a threat, he's defended extremely well. Bruno Fernandes just dummies the ball through, it runs through to Mbeumo. Very cleverly he lets the ball run across his body, he doesn't touch it. Goalkeeper comes rushing out, and it's a brilliant finish from Mbeumo. Up and above Verbruggen, high into the roof of the net. And finally, those 3 points are safe for Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a lovely pass, actually, from the halfway line from Aidan Heaven. And as you say, Paul, it was aimed at Bruno Fernandes, but he just left it. He allowed it to fly past him into the path of Mbeumo on his left foot inside the box. A very good finish. Mbeumo, 2 goals in the match, and that's it. The final whistle goes with Mbeumo scoring in the 7th minute of added time to make it Manchester United 4, Brighton 2, and Manchester United have made it, Paul Robinson. 3 wins in a row, which equals their best under Ruben Amorim's time as the manager. And they're above Liverpool, and they're 4th in the Premier League.
And it certainly wasn't an easy afternoon for Manchester United. They made hard work of it after looking so convincing in the first half, taking that 2-0 lead into the half-time, then getting the third, and you thought, look, 3 goals, 3 points, surely that's it for Manchester United, 3 games in a row. But no, true to form, the old defensive frailties were there, they were apparent. Listen, the performances are better, the performances are improving. The narrative will be now 3 games in a row for Manchester United, but you look at the teams they've beaten, Liverpool, Sunderland, Chelsea, and today a very good Brighton team who have had the better of them in recent years. So there's certainly been a corner turn for Manchester United, but by no way are they the finished article. Defensively they still look porous, they have the problems. In the attacking third, Brian Mbeumo today was absolutely excellent, and he got the 4th, which sealed the win for them today. A very good win for Manchester United.
Yeah, 5 goals now for Manchester United for Brian Mbeumo. It is 4 wins out of 5. They've won 4 home matches in a row. But I think the feeling from this, and I'm sure you'll hear Manchester United fans on 606 08 085 909 693, I think the mood would be very different had they just seen it out for a 3-0 win as opposed to a 4-2 victory. So stay tuned for that. So it's all over here at Old Trafford. The Brighton players are going to their supporters. It's their first defeat for 6 weeks after 5 matches unbeaten in all competitions. Brighton have got a big game at Arsenal in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday night. You'll be able to hear that on Sports Extra 2, incidentally. Commentary on Tuesday and Wednesday night all over the networks on the Carabao Cup 5 Live Sports Extra et al. But the Brighton players disappearing off the field. The Manchester United players going around the ground here. So Manchester United have won it